So you were just talking a little bit about sort of the straight talk that you get from other founders that's not in, message boards or not in, the how to be an entrepreneur manual. Can you give me some examples of that and sort of like what are some great pieces of advice that you've got along the way?
I used to think that I was really honest and that I sought out the truth and spoke the truth. And, I think over the course of the last decade, I've realized that that wasn't always the case. And especially the first time founder, it's hard. So much of this is actually conviction and mindset and believing, regardless of what people are telling you, that you can make it work. And I've realized that, finding a group of people, your tribe, if you will, that's willing to tell you the truth when it's hard to hear, not because they're malicious in any way, but because they actually want you to succeed, is such a critical part of the story. I know in our early days, our board, or rather, for any venture backed company, your board can be a really important part of this equation. In our early days, I'd say we weren't as effective in leveraging our board for that, and over the years, we've learned how to actually have an honest and effective conversation with your board members, with your mentors, to be able to provide you with the advice you need. And I think a lot of it has to do with being honest with yourself. And it starts with being willing to question, both question and have the conviction to talk through the tough, the most challenging conversations. So one of my key mantras nowadays has been the obstacle is the way. There's a great book on the topic. I think that is the title, in fact, of the book, and in large part it has to do with the fact that more often than not, when you're faced with a dilemma and you don't really know which way to go, oftentimes the best way is right through it, and that's not always the case. And you don't necessarily know if you're heading in the right direction, but if you surround yourself with people who are willing to be honest with you, who can hold you to task, but you can hold them to task. I found that actually produces ultimately a much better outcome. So for me, that was the forum, which was a group of people, Jeff included here, that gets together on a regular rhythm once a month to be able to talk about a lot of these challenges. Oftentimes, those challenges aren't actually work related; they're personal related. That actually might be getting in the way, quote unquote, of work. But then there's also, what I've been calling a personal board of directors, if you will. It's just a group of people that outside of Forum and outside of folks who are actually on my official board that I rely on as mentors, who I, regularly try to keep up to date with how I'm doing and the questions I'm grappling with, and who are able to reflect back the things that are most important to me when I'm at those crossroads.